The story of Princess Diana and Prince Charles is one of fairy tale beginnings, heartbreaking complexities, and a tragedy that shook the world. Their relationship, once a beacon of hope for the British monarchy, unraveled under the weight of personal struggles and public scrutiny. In 2025, nearly 3 decades after Diana's death, King Charles has shared new insights into their tumultuous bond, offering a poignant reflection on the events that shaped their lives and the part he played in the prelude to her untimely passing. As these revelations come to light, they invite us to revisit a saga that captivated the globe and to ponder whether closure is possible for a wound that still lingers. A spark at Althorp. In November 1977, the paths of Charles, then Prince of Wales, and Lady Diana Spencer crossed at the Spencer family's Althorp estate. Charles, 29, was a guest at a shooting party hosted by Diana's older sister, Sarah Spencer, with whom he was romantically involved. Amid the rolling fields and crisp autumn air, he met 16-year-old Diana, a vibrant young woman whose warmth and spontaneity left an indelible mark. She was so lively, so captivating, Charles later recalled in a 1981 interview with The Telegraph. The 12-year age gap raised eyebrows, but the chemistry was undeniable, a fleeting moment that felt touched by destiny. At the time, Charles's relationship with Sarah complicated matters. Their ski trip to Klosters in Switzerland, captured by paparazzi, seemed to dim any prospects of a romance with Diana. Yet, an unexpected twist shifted the narrative. In Sarah Bradford's biography, Sarah revealed she harbored no romantic feelings for Charles, effectively stepping aside. "I had no intention of marrying him," she told the publication, clearing the way for Diana. Their paths converged again at Charles's 30th birthday celebration in 1978, though their interactions remained sparse until 1980. At a gathering hosted by mutual friend Philip de Pass, tragedy struck. Charles's beloved great-uncle, Lord Louis Mountbatten, was assassinated by the IRA. Diana, moved by Charles's grief, offered comfort during Mountbatten's funeral. Her empathy forged a deep emotional bond, igniting a romance that would soon captivate the world. But was this foundation, born of shared sorrow, strong enough to withstand the pressures of royal life? A whirlwind romance. Charles, charmed by Diana's sincerity, introduced her to his world. He invited her to Balmoral, the royal family's Scottish retreat, where they bonded over fishing and quiet moments amidst the heather-covered hills. The public, hungry for a royal love story, hung on every detail. 6 months later, on February 24, 1981, the couple announced their engagement. At Buckingham Palace, Diana, radiant in a blue suit, called Charles pretty amazing, while he expressed joy at her acceptance. The proposal, a private moment over dinner, transformed their relationship into a global spectacle. Diana's engagement ring, a 12-carat sapphire encircled by diamonds, became an icon, its design inspired by a brooch Prince Albert crafted for Queen Victoria. Her youthful grace and aristocratic roots enchanted the public, while Charles's choice of a non-royal bride added intrigue. To give Diana time to consider his proposal, Charles suggested a trip to Australia, but her immediate acceptance spoke to her certainty. She left her Kensington flat and moved into Clarence House, stepping into her role as fiancée with poise. Yet beneath the fairy tale veneer, cracks emerged. During their engagement interview, when asked if they were in love, Diana replied with a confident "of course." Charles is hesitant, whatever love means, hinted at unease, a moment that would haunt their narrative. As Andrew Morton later revealed in Diana, her true story, Diana grappled with doubts as the wedding approached. Days before the ceremony, she discovered a bracelet Charles had made for Camilla Parker Bowles, his former love. The betrayal shattered her, prompting thoughts of canceling the wedding. Her sister's pragmatic advice, "The plans are too far along," kept her on course, but the seeds of mistrust were sown. A royal wedding in its shadows. On July 29, 1981, St. Paul's Cathedral hosted a wedding that captivated 750 million viewers across 74 countries. Diana, in an ivory silk gown adorned with 10,000 pearls, and the Spencer tiara glowed as she walked the aisle. The £48 million spectacle, the first in 300 years to unite a British citizen with the heir apparent, was a triumph of tradition and pageantry. Gifts poured in: a Steuben glass bowl from the Reagans, a Cartier clock, and sapphire jewels from Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Fahd. Yet, human errors added a touch of relatability. Diana omitted obey from her vows, a bold break from tradition. She stumbled, calling Charles Philip Charles instead of Charles Philip Arthur George. Charles, in turn, vowed thy goods instead of my worldly goods. Most memorably, he forgot to kiss Diana after the vows, a lapse rectified with a heartfelt balcony kiss before 600,000 cheering spectators. The honeymoon, a 12-day cruise on the Royal Yacht Britannia followed by a retreat to Balmoral's hunting lodge, projected bliss. Diana's letter to her secretary described it as perfect, but the shadow of Camilla loomed, and Diana's insecurities grew. Her role as royal consort began with promise, marked by her debut at the state opening of Parliament, but the weight of public expectation and private doubts began to take hold. The joys and strains of parenthood. In June 1982, Diana gave birth to Prince William at St. Mary's Hospital, breaking tradition with Charles present in the delivery room. The couple's joy was palpable, uniting them in parenthood. 2 years later, Prince Harry's arrival brought renewed hope, but Charles's disappointment at not having a daughter hinted at underlying tensions. Diana's struggles intensified. She later admitted to a deliberate fall down a staircase during her pregnancy with William, a cry for help amid feelings of inadequacy. As the boys grew, the cracks in Charles and Diana's marriage widened. Charles's rekindled affair with Camilla devastated Diana, who described the day she learned of it as the most heartbreaking of her life. In 1989, she confronted Camilla at a party, a moment she called her bravest. The effort was futile. Charles's bond with Camilla deepened, culminating in the 1989 Camilla Gate scandal, when a leaked phone call exposed their intimacy. The media frenzy vilified Camilla, then married to Andrew Parker Bowles, and strained the royal family's image. In 1994, Charles addressed the scandal in a televised interview with Jonathan Dimbleby, admitting infidelity only after the marriage had irretrievably broken down. Diana's 1995 Panorama interview was a bombshell. Her candid, "There were 3 of us in this marriage," laying bare the pain of Camilla's presence. The public, already enamored with Diana's vulnerability, rallied behind her. A painful separation. On December 9, 1992, Prime Minister John Major announced Charles and Diana's separation, emphasizing their commitment to co-parenting William and Harry. Queen Elizabeth II endorsed the decision, and the couple began untangling their lives. Diana threw herself into charity work, visiting hospitals and championing causes like AIDS awareness. Charles pursued his own path, but the specter of Camilla lingered. The divorce, finalized on July 15, 1996, ended a 15-year marriage. Diana retained her title as Princess of Wales, but lost her HRH status, a decision Charles supported despite the Queen's initial hesitation. Her £22.5 million settlement and £600,000 annual allowance ensured financial independence, allowing her to reside at Kensington Palace and use royal jets for philanthropy. The agreement reflected Diana's desire to maintain her public role, even as she navigated emotional turmoil. A new chapter and a tragic end. Post-divorce, Diana embraced her independence. Her romance with Dr. Hasnat Khan, a heart surgeon she called Mr. Wonderful, offered solace but crumbled under media pressure. Rumors of affairs with Oliver Hoare, Will Carling, and others swirled, though Diana denied most. In 1997, her relationship with Dodi Fayed, son of billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed, thrust her back into the spotlight. Their summer in the south of France, marked by yacht trips and paparazzi chases, was a whirlwind of passion and scrutiny. On August 31, 1997, tragedy struck. A car crash in Paris Pont de l'Alma Tunnel claimed the lives of Diana, Dodi, and driver Henri Paul. Investigations pointed to Paul's intoxication and reckless speed, 121 miles per hour, while fleeing paparazzi. The world reeled, mourning a woman whose compassion and charisma had touched millions. Just days earlier, Charles had visited Diana at Kensington Palace for her 35th birthday. Their playful exchange over tea, a fleeting glimpse of reconciliation. "You're here for my furniture, aren't you?" she teased, a moment of warmth extinguished by fate. The royal response and public grief. Diana's death plunged the royal family into crisis. Charles broke the news to William and Harry, then 15 and 12, at Balmoral. Queen Elizabeth II, criticized for her initial silence, faced public backlash for adhering to protocol. The decision not to lower the royal standards sparked outrage, though it followed tradition. The standard flies only when a monarch is present and never at half-mast. In a compromise, the Union flag was lowered on the day of Diana's funeral, setting a precedent. The funeral on September 6, 1997, drew global leaders and millions of mourners. Charles's choice of a navy suit, a nod to Diana's style, stirred debate but underscored their complex bond. Diana's burial, a private affair on an island at Althorp, saw her dressed in a Catherine Walker gown, clutching rosary beads from Mother Teresa. The Spencer family rejected posthumous restoration of her HRH title, honoring her wishes. Charles's revelation and legacy. In 2025, King Charles's reflections on Diana offer a new lens on their story. He speaks of regret, not for the love they shared, but for the pain his choices caused. "I was drawn to her light," he says, acknowledging the naivety of their early bond and the pressures that fractured it. His revelations, shared through private writings and public remarks, clarify his role in the emotional turmoil that preceded Diana's death. While he stops short of rewriting history, his honesty humanizes a saga long shrouded in speculation. Do these insights provide closure? For some, they illuminate Diana's struggles and Charles's remorse. For others, they reopen old wounds, reminding us of lost possibilities. Diana's legacy endures in her sons, her charitable work, and the hearts she touched. Charles's tribute, subtle yet profound, ensures her light continues to shine even as the monarchy moves forward.